driving that person's actions?
믿음으로 하지 아니한 모든 것이 죄다.
Everything that is done without faith is sin.
이 사람이 지금 해야 되는 기준 속에 한 것이라면 하고 나서 그 사람은 자기 의가 만들어집니다.
If this person is doing whatever work it is out of their standard of having to do it, then when they're done doing the work, they're going to leave with their own self-righteousness.
만약에 여러분들이 기도를 하나님 앞에 해야 된다는 걸로 가면 기도하는 것들 속에 하나님에 대한 여러분의 의가 만들어진다니까 느낌이 돼요.
If you have this standard that says that you have to pray before God, then every time you pray, you're going to walk away having this self-righteousness that you did something for God.
그래도 그 느낌 때문에 하면 의를 받는 거예요. 그 의에 자기 의에 한 만큼의 의가 묶임이기 때문에 하면 의를 받는 의, 그래서 의를 받는 거라고.
And so as much as you have this self-righteousness, that is bondage in itself. And so every time you pray, you actually comfort yourself that you're doing something.
왜 기도를 못 했을 때는 왜 불안한지 아세요?
Do you know why you feel anxious when you don't pray?
자기가 했던 기준에 묶임 그 의 때문에 이게 상처를 입었기 때문에 불안한 거예요.
It's because of that righteousness that you felt, that bondage of righteousness of what you've done, that now when you don't pray, you feel like you've broken something.
내가 한 것은 하나님 앞에 알 수가 없거든요.
And you cannot go before God with what you've
근데
done.
이게 생명과 상관없는 이건 하면 할수록 묶임이 되기 때문에 내가 한 만큼의 자기 의가 상처를 받거나 충족을 받거나 이 두 가지 것입니다.
And every time you do something according to your standard, you're building your own bondage of righteousness. And that state of bondage means that it's going to result either in pride or in shame.
기도를 해도 안 해도 복음의 실제 생명은 처리당해요.
Then that means whether you pray or you don't pray, whatever you do, you're living your life in a way that has nothing to do with the reality of the gospel.
전도를 해도 여러분 내가 한 것은 전부 다 내가 한 만큼의 의가 들어갑니다.
Even if you evangelize, when you've done it, you're going to always have your own sense of self-righteousness that you did something.
내가 복음 전했어요.
Let's say you preach the gospel
영접시켰어요.
and someone accepted.
그래 교회까지 나갔어요.
And then they even came to church.
그래 지속도 한다고 합시다.
And let's say they even managed to continue.
그 사람 내가 묶게 돼 있어요.
Then you have no choice but to start binding that person to you.
내 제자입니다.
Because now you consider them your disciple.
우리는 당연한 것처럼 생각하잖아요.
And we live that way thinking that that's normal.
아닙니다.
It doesn't work like that.
우리는 그 사람을 사랑한다고 생각하잖아요.
And we do that thinking that we're doing it out of love.
속지 마세요.
Don't be deceived.
정말로 잘 보셔야 돼요.
Look at this carefully.
내가 한 것은 전부 다 자기 의가 들어가.
Everything that you do, you will have a sense of self-righteousness that follows.
나를 묻고 나와 관계된 내가 한 것들에 관계된 전부 다 묶게 돼 있어요.
That means that you are going to bind yourself and you are going to bind everyone and everything that is related to what you have done.
그러니까 내 제자 만들어.
That's why you end up making your own disciple.
생명을 지가 줬는가 보지.
Did you give that person life?
전도를 지가 했는 줄 아는가 보지.
And they think that they're the ones that did the evangelism.
똑같아요. 육신도 이게 메시지입니다. 여러분 자녀가 여러분 새끼입니까?
It's the same with our physical, life. Do you think that your children are yours?
생명을 만들어냈는가 보지.
Did you create life?
내가 볼 때는 배좀 10달 빌린 거거든요.
From what I can tell, someone just borrowed your womb.
배좀 10달 빌렸다니까.
They just borrowed your womb for about 9 months.
그랬더니 이름 성도 그냥 딱 박아놓고 내 성자 딱 아이한테 박아놓잖아.
But you claim possession over that child by giving them your last name.
성경 이름을 보세요.
But look at the names throughout the Bible.
아브라함의 아들이 누구요?
Who was Abraham's son?
이삭.
Isaac.
송이 어디 갔어?
Where's his last name?
없어.
There is no last
이거
name.
전혀 딴 이름이 이거.
He has a completely separate identity.
근데 우리 한국은요.
But what about Koreans?
송이 있어요.
We all have last names.
내가 박씨거든.
I am a Park.
낳자마자는 아버지가 박씨가 박다 그냥 따라가야 돼.
As soon as my child was born, because he is my child, he's imprinted with Park.
성만 박는 게 아니라 돌림자까지 쓰는 또 이게 또 양반이라서.
And then according to Korean custom, not only do they get my last name, but now they have to, their names are built, their names are created similarly.
그래요. 성도 받고 이름도 받고 내 새끼 만들어 키워보니까 내 새끼 됩니까?
So you claim possession over them by imprinting your last name on them, and then you name them. So you raise them. Are they really yours?
그래 어렸을 때 나 닮은 거 보니까 내 새끼 같이 보이지.
When they're young, they look like you, so they seem like they're yours.
그런 걸 보니까 너무나 사랑스럽고 너무나 이쁘니까 그냥 내 새끼 같이 보이지.
And you watch them grow, and you just love them so much, and they seem like they're your children, right?
커봐라. 점점 커버하니까.
But wait till you get old. Wait till they get older.
미리 준비하세요.
Get ready,
그때 가서 뒤통수 맞지 마.
because you're gonna get hit in the back of the head unexpectedly.
그냥 경험 안 해보면 몰라요.
If you've never experienced this, you don't know what I'm talking about.
이런 얘기하면 내 새끼는 안 그래 이런다.
Most parents are sitting there, they hear me say this, and they're thinking, my child is not like that.
이 말이 깨달아지시면 복 있는 거예요.
If you are able to understand what I'm saying, you are blessed.
못 알아들어도 일단 들어놓으면 나중에 이제 과정 속에서 그때 한 말이 이 말이고 그때는 조금 힘들 겁니다.
And even now, if you don't understand now, when your children start acting a little funny later, then you're going to realize, oh, this is what that guy was talking about.
그때 깨달으면 복 있습니다.
And if at that time you realize what I was talking about, then you're blessed.
이게 문제.
The problem is the self.
이전 일이 지나가야 돼요.
The things of the past need to pass.
이걸 모르면 우리는 자꾸만 새 일을 이전 일 갖다 삼아버리는 거야.
Because if we don't allow the things of the past to pass, then you and I are going to make the new things part of the past.
그 말이 뭐냐? 복음은 새 일이요. 이게 바로 새 술인데.
The gospel is the new work. It is the new wine.
이 이전 일이면 이게 흥부되거든요.
But the things of the past are the old wineskin.
이걸 섞어버리는 거예요.
And we just mix it all together.
내가 어떤 해놓고 그러냐면 오늘 식사를 대조가 식사 같이 하면서 오늘 이 식을 먹었는데 이 식 꽤 깔끔하잖아요. 그래서 부모님이 앞으로 30년을 더 하신다고 했으니까 앞으로 이런 음식 많이 안 드시고 햄버거 막 부벼놓은 것 같은 거 그런 거 많이 드시지 마세요.
I wanted to say to Pastor Lord, we had lunch today and we went to a Japanese restaurant, and the Japanese food, was, healthy, very clean, and I wanted to tell him, since Pastor Lloyd said he wanted to live 30 more years, that he should continue eating this food and stop eating the hamburger food in the bowl with the rice and the gravy and the locomoco.
섞는 게 별로 안 좋습니다. 섞는 게 별로 안 좋다니까 막 이것저것 막.
So it's not good to mix all these different kinds of foods.
새 일이면 새 일이야지.
A new thing has to be a new thing.
이전 일은 지나갔으니.
The former things have passed.
아멘.
Amen.
이제 바로 시작하셔야 돼요.
So we need to begin correctly.
여러분 전에 전도가 은혜 속에 될 때 배우겠습니까?
When you first received grace and you started sharing the gospel, did you do that having learned how to do that?
열심히 해서 된 겁니까?
Did it happen because you tried hard?
여러분이 전도를 잘해야 된 겁니까?
Is it because that you were good at it?
제가 전도 왕이었다고 했잖아요.
I told you I was the evangelism king.
가만히 지나놓고 언제서든 아무것도 몰랐을 때 전도가 개발됐어.
When I look behind, when I look at my past, the time in my life where evangelism happened the greatest was when I had no idea and I just received grace.
내가 모르니까 하나님이 더 나를 통해서 역사하시기가 더 쉬웠던